Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about common factoring. So in order to expand or multiply polynomials, we need to use the distributive property, and that's what we're doing. But now we're going to do the opposite, which is called factoring. And when you take out a common factor from a polynomial, we're basically looking for the greatest common factor. So we did this already, and now we're going to do it with variables as well as numbers. So here's my question here. And I want to decide what is common to 4x squared plus 8x. Well, what goes into the both 4 and 8? Well, 4 goes into both of them. And I have x squared and x. So that means this is 2 x's here and this is 1 x here. So I'm going to take out a common factor of 1x. And then you put that in front of the brackets. And inside the brackets, you want to see what's left over. So the 4x stays. And then we say, okay, what is 4x squared divided by 4x? Now we're going to go back to our exponent work back in the day that we did a little while ago. And what I just said was, what is 4x squared divided by 4x? Well, the 4's cancel out, boom, boom. And I have 2 x's on top and 1 x on the bottom. So that means I'm left with an x. And then I have plus. And then I have 8x. And I'm going to divide it again by 4x, which is the common factor. Now the x and the x cancel out. Boom, boom. And then the 8 and the 4, they reduce to 2 over 1. So plus 2. Awesome. Now, so what I have just done is I have taken out a common factor from the question. Now we're going to double check that we're right. And the way that we're going to double check and make sure that for sure we're right is we're going to expand. So remember, in order to expand, we multiply by everything like this. So 4x times x is 4x squared. And 4x times positive 2 is plus 8x. Well, that's what I started with. So I knew that I did the question correctly. So this is correct. Awesome. So again, let's talk about just numbers. And we did numbers already. So what is the greatest common factor? So the number that goes into both 8 and 12. And you're probably going to tell me that it's 4. Good. What number goes into 6, 18, and 24? The greatest common factor. And in that, it's 6. Now, let's talk about what goes into both x to the 5 and x squared. Well, one has 5 x's and one has 2 x's. So again, what is the greatest common factor, the number that can go into both of them? Well, that's x squared. Now, if I have coefficients and I have variables, what goes into both? So I have 3x cubed and 12x squared. So what goes into both of the numbers is 3. And then the variable part that goes into both, I have x cubed and x squared. So x squared goes into both. Awesome. So here's what's going on here. Okay, I have a polynomial. I decided what my greatest common factor is going to be. What's in brackets is what's left. And so the result will be a factored polynomial. Okay, so let's talk about it now all together here. So the question is 3x cubed plus 12x squared. And we want to take out what is common. So looking at the numbers 3 and 12, what is common is 3. And looking at x cubed and x squared, that means x squared is common. Awesome. Well, what's left now? Well, I'm going to write this middle step here so you can see what I'm saying. And I'm going to write it here in red. I'm going to do 3x cubed, which is the number over here, divided by the common factor, which is 3x squared. And I'm going to do plus 12x squared divided by 3x squared. So this is what I'm doing mathematically, okay? Now, you probably won't write this stuff in red, okay? This is what we're doing, so it's just an opportunity for you to see how I'm doing the math. So that means the 3x squared stays. Awesome. And now let's reduce this. So 3 divided by 3, that becomes 1. And I have x cubed on top and x squared on the bottom, so that reduces to just 1x left over. Plus, I have x squared and x squared. Well, those reduce, those cancel out. And I've got 12 over 3 reduces to 4 over 1, so plus 4. Now, again, if you wanted to check your work to make sure that you were 100% right, so you could expand your work. And if we do a check, I get 3x cubed plus 12x squared. So I know that I'm right. Okay, so we are going to try a couple of questions here. We're going to have, there are 6 questions on this page. I'm going to give you, let's say, 6 minutes. So I want you to take 6 minutes. I want you to pause the video right now. And I want you to try and take out the common factor and decide what's left in the bracket. So I want you to give me a factored polynomial. Okay? So everybody, I want you to take, again, 6 minutes, try all these questions, and then I'm going to walk through them right now. Okay? So pause the video. So hopefully at this point in time, you have given it a go. Okay, you have taken an attempt. Again, if you need more time, that's totally fine. Just pause the video again, try the questions, make sure you've tried them before we take them up, okay? And then we'll see how we go. So here, if I look at question number 1, the thing that is common is the number 5. That's the only thing that's common. There's no variable that's common. So I'm going to take out a 5, and I'm going to be left with 1x plus 2. All right, looking at the next one. Between the 25 and the 10, that means 5 is common. And if I have x to the 4 and x squared, that means x squared is common. Awesome. 25 divided by 5 is 5. X to the 4 divided by x squared is x squared. Plus 10 divided by 5 is 2. And x squared divided by x squared means there's nothing left. So I can just move that bracket a little bit closer and we're good to go. Awesome. Okay, looking at the next one, if I figure out what's common, I'm going to take out a -2. Okay, I'm going to take out a -2 because I don't like that negative at the front. This negative over here looks kind of weird sitting in the front by itself, so I'm going to take that out. Okay, so if I take out a -2, there's no variable that I can take out. But if I take out a -2, -4 divided by -2 is 2m squared. And then +6 divided by -2 is -3. Did you catch that -3? Because if you did, you're in a good place. If you missed it, I want you to make a note to yourself. Remember, a positive divided by a negative is a negative. Okay, question number 4 here. I look at the 4 and the 2, so 2 is common. I have m squared and m, so I'm going to take out 1m. And I have 1n and 1n, so I'm going to take out 1 more n. Awesome. Okay, now let's decide what's left over. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. M squared divided by m gives me 1m left over. And n divided by n is nothing. -2 divided by +2 is -1. And m divided by m, those reduce to 1. And then n divided by n, that also reduces to 1. They cancel out, so we don't have any problems. So we're done right now. Again, if you had your bracket there and it was a little too far, you can move it over. Awesome. So if you're doing really well right now, that's great. We're going to amp it up a little bit more. Number 5. Number 5, I have 3 terms now. So remember, 3 terms means it's a trinomial. Okay, so 3 terms. All right, so I want to look at all my numbers and all my variables. I've got 12, -15, and 3. I've got A's and B's and C's. Okay, let's take out. So what's common to all the 3 numbers? Well, 3 is common. Okay, the first one has a cubed, the second one has a squared, and the last one has a. So I'm just going to take out 1a. The first one has 1b, the second one has 1b, and the third one has 1b. So I'm just going to take out 1b. The first one has c squared, the second one has 1c, and the third one has 1c, so I'm just going to take out 1c. Awesome, so there's my common factor. And then I got to decide what's left. Okay, 12 divided by 3 is 4. A cubed divided by a is a squared. B divided by b, that reduces to 1 over 1. And then c squared divided by c leaves me with 1c. Awesome. Then I do negative 15 divided by 3 is negative 5. Okay, I have a squared divided by a gives me a. B divided by b is 1b, so it's gone. And c divided by c, that cancels out. There's nothing left. Awesome. And then plus 3 divided by 3 is plus 1. And then I had 1a, and I divided by 1a, so that goes away. I have 1b, I divided by 1b, that goes away. I have 1c, I divided by 1c, and that goes away. Okay? A lot of people would make a mistake right here, and they would forget this 1 that's over here by itself. But remember, if something is divided by itself, I'm going to have that 1. Don't forget. Okay? If you're a person who's going to be likely to forget that, please make a note to yourself. Awesome. And the last question for the day says I have 3x squared plus 4y squared, and I look for something that's common. So there's nothing common in the numbers and the coefficients. There's nothing common in the variables. So actually this one, the only common factor that I could take out is 1. And I don't really have to do that, but I'm going to do that right now to show you that the only common factor here is 1. Okay? Nothing else is factorable out of this polynomial, okay? Awesome. So what I want you to do is I want you to try the practice, okay? Make sure you give it a good go. If you have any questions, make sure to ask, okay? And I'll see you soon. Take care, everybody.